Okay, it's the Bills pick. I'm calling Deshaun Jackson. Ooh, Leotis McKelvin help replace Nate Clements. Pretty good pick. They did need some help at cornerback, even though, you know, last year you had Jabari Greer do a good job for them. I like the pick. I can go for it. Let's see, moving on, we have Denver. I'm going to guess they're going to take... Geez, that's a tough one. I'm thinking some sort of maybe a defensive lineman like Philip Merlin at this point. I could also see them actually, unfortunately for me, going running back like Jonathan Stewart. So let's just hope. Keeping my fingers crossed. We'll see what Denver does. Okay, Broncos. Please don't take a running back. Don't do that to me. Yep, offensive lineman. Pretty good pick. I like it. I think they needed to restock on the offensive line. I think I mentioned that in my mock yesterday. Good pick. I think they needed to take offensive or defensive line. Ryan Clady definitely works. I think he's a steal. And now we got Carolina. I think they're also going to take some sort of offensive tackle. Maybe Chris Williams or Jeff Otah. Okay, Carolina's up. And let's see what they do here. I got Otah. Ooh! Ouch! Okay, first of all, I don't like this pick because it takes away the guy I wanted. Second of all, it's a bad pick. I don't know why they don't trust D'Angelo Williams. You know, because I think D'Angelo, you know, played pretty well the last 2 seasons, and I don't know why they don't like him. This just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't see why they don't take a left tackle. I just don't get it, guys. But, moving on, Chicago. I think they're going to take an offensive tackle, Mendenhall, not Mendenhall, excuse me, Otah or Williams. That's my guess. Okay, here comes Goodell for the Bears pick. Let's see what happens. Yeah, Chris Williams, offensive tackle. It was either him or Otah, or possibly Albert. I like it. Good job. And now we got Detroit on the clock. We got a trade. Looks like the Lions just sent that pick to the Chiefs. So, I'm not exactly sure what Kansas City is going to do here, but maybe they're going to get Jeff Otah. Actually, that would be perfect. Jeff Otah or Brandon Albert. I feel it. Okay, so Chiefs picking at 15. I like Jeff Otah or Brandon Albert. It's looking like Albert right now because of the reactions they're showing. But we'll be back in a minute with that. Kansas City's got 3 first-round picks. If they could get Albert and Otah 2 picks later, or vice versa, that would be just so great for them, assuming they have the money to sign those guys. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Yep, Brandon Albert, the offensive guard / tackle. Great pick for them. I love it. If they get Jeff Otah after Arizona picks here, even though they did have to do a good amount of trading to get up there, and they do have 3 first-rounders, that's going to be such a great draft for them. So big props to Kansas City so far. Arizona's up next. I'm worried they're going to take Rashard Mendenhall. Please don't. I want him to stick around for our pick just so the option is there. But if they must, they can do that. I'm hoping they're going to take a cornerback like Mike Jenkins. So come on, take Mike Jenkins, maybe even Jeff Otah, but I hope it's going to be Mike Jenkins. Okay, here comes Arizona. Ooh. You know, I already said I did not think highly of this guy. I think Jenkins and Kaysen and Talib are all better cornerbacks than Cromartie. But I do agree with the cornerback pick. So I'm kind of torn on this. Really, ultimately, I don't much care for it. But I'm not going to complain. It's the Cardinals. And next up is Detroit. I think they're going to take Jeff Otah. That's my guess. Well, they didn't show it, which kind of sucks, but the Lions just took Goster Cherilus offensive tackle that I actually had going to Houston. You know, not who I thought, but same position, and a guy that's pretty good first-round talent, so I like it. Great pick on their part. Actually, they're going to look like showing on a bit of a delay here. Yeah, Ghoster, Charles. I like it. Next up is Houston. I think they got to take Jeff Otah here. He's got to stop falling sometime soon. Another trade. Baltimore swaps with Houston. Comes up to pick number 18. I've heard rumors they're going to take a quarterback like Brian Brohm here. I personally would go with Jeff Otah. I think he's dropped a little too far at this point, and Baltimore could use him just as much as Houston could. But it's either him or Brohm. Ooh, looks like Flacco's on the phone. Maybe it's going to be him. So we'll see what happens officially in a second. Yeah, looks like Joe Flacco's the guy for Baltimore. Let's see, watch him make it official. Yep, Joe Flacco. Leaving, next up is Philadelphia. History indicates they're going to take Jeff Otah, but personally, as a Philadelphia apologist of sorts, you might call me, I don't know. I'm hoping they take a wide receiver or trade the pick for Roy Williams or Anquan Bolden. Do something to locate a wide receiver, because they have a good offensive line set and they don't need to take another first-round lineman, in my opinion. So I think they need to take some sort of a wide receiver with this pick one way or another, hoping that's what happens. We'll see. Well, we got another trade. Philly just sent the pick to Carolina. I like it because it'll prevent Philadelphia from using that pick on a offensive lineman. And hopefully they just end up moving down a little bit and pick up a wide receiver like Devin Thomas or Deshaun Jackson. So we'll see what Carolina does. Yep, Jeff Otah goes to Carolina, as I thought. Eagles fans don't seem to like it too much, but I do, because I think Philly's going to trade back up into the first round now and get their wide receiver, and Carolina gets the offensive tackle that they did need. So Carolina makes up for the bad pick earlier, trades back up, probably had to give up quite a bit to do it, but they got the guy they needed, and now it is Tampa Bay on the clock, and I'm feeling Devin Thomas or Deshaun Jackson, but we'll see which direction they want to go. My props to the Philly Eagles for that trade. They got a first-rounder next year, a second-rounder, and a fourth-rounder this year just for that first-rounder. Stone cold steal. I don't see Carolina exactly making the playoffs next year, so I think that was a great trade on their part, getting 2 first-round picks next year. Love it. Great job, Philly, and looks like Tampa's going to take Devin Thomas like I had in my mock, so that's one thing I did right. But we'll see officially in a minute here. Bucks pick is in, and looks like it's going to be Devin Thomas. Let's listen in. Ooh! Ow. Didn't see that coming. You know, I can't disagree with it because Rondé Barber's old, and Brian Kelly is gone, and Philip Buchanan is Philip Buchanan, but I don't see how you can't not take Devin Thomas at that spot. You know, this is a good player, but I think he was a bit of a reach. Not a huge fan of this pick, but could be worse, and that's your 11 through 20.